The Disney Vibes Podcast. Talking insider tips, tricks, and pixie dust. For the most magical place on Earth, here's Andrew and Heather.
Welcome to episode number 16 of the Disney Vibes Podcast. I am your host, Andrew.
And I am Andrew's co-host, Heather.
Love the enthusiasm there, dear.
Oh, thank you much.
Fantastic.
Thank you. So, I want to start off with a joke.
Oh, let me get my morning corny.
Can you have faith in me?
Sure.
Well, because I heard that people enjoyed mine from last week, so I'm going to keep rolling with it. And then,
Really? That was the feedback?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, here we go. Are we all ready?
As ready as I'm gonna be.
Okay. Why did Mickey Mouse take a trip to space?
I don't know.
He wanted to go find Pluto.
Crickets, no reaction.
No. Although, I don't know if
Pluto is not a planet anymore.
No, but it's still in outer space, so I don't want to hear it.
Oh, my Lord.
It might have lost its planet status, but it's still in space. So, Mickey, good luck.
I'm going to apologize for being off the rails exactly like 37.5 seconds into the show. Anyway, Disney Vibes brought to you by Magical Destinations Travel, bookmdtravel.com. Like the podcast, spread the word, want to show some support. One of our agents will be with you to assist in planning your vacation. There is no obligation for a free quote and no cost to you ever. Please remember you can download the Disney Vibes podcast wherever you get your podcasts from. If you like the content, provide some feedback and a rating, jokes included. We greatly appreciate your support. So, Heather, what's going on with you with the news besides these jokes? Like, did you Google that, or did you hear that, or where did that come from?
I might have Googled
It may have, I would say it's a little dated because you're talking about Pluto. Anyway.
Oh, come on now. Still in outer space. But I got a good pun for next week.
Oh, you're already prepared.
I am.
Please put it in the show notes so I'm not shocked. All right. A lot of news. We want to talk about Here's What's Happening. One thing that came out, and we wanted to mention it, is Story Living by Disney Residential Communities. So as soon as Heather and I saw this, we were like, nice.
Yeah, we fast forwarded our life about, I don't know, 25 years from now.
I'm out before then, but thank you. Retirement plan. That's it.
Yeah.
So, Disney has had a lot of real estate interest in Celebration, Florida, houses in the Golden Oak at Walt Disney World, and now they have a new business to develop more residential communities. Story Living by Disney will have these distinctly designed spaces, unique amenities, and world-renowned service for those looking to write the next chapter of their lives with Disney, and that's kind of like me and you. So, and I'm going to make it to your mini, like you said. So we're in it together. Anyways, the first community in the Story Living by Disney project will be developed in California. So that's great. I'm not moving to California, though.
I know. Well, I mean, we have family out there, so we don't have to have a residency there.
That's fine, but I'm going to Florida. That's it. Done.
Okay.
Son. So as more and more of this information comes out, we will put a link to the show notes, and somewhere on our webpage, Heather is creating a dedicated spot
Oh, boy.
for it, because there was a lot of feedback regarding all the links from what to pack and how you get all those deals from Amazon, and she did create that, but we want to make sure we house it in the correct location for you. So there's going to be more U.S. locations under exploration. And it isn't a April Fool's joke. This is an actual announcement. So definitely looking forward for those who are big Disney fans like us. Something on the horizon is these new Story Living residential communities. So that's fun. That's exciting.
So I envision, this is what I envision golf carts, a Mickey and Minnie version of like a golf cart, almost like the strollers they have at Disney, but golf cart versions. And yeah, that's all I envision right now.
Wow.
No, that's just one thing that popped in my brain, kind of like, you have.
Just one thing.
Oh, well, that's what
Are you going to play golf?
No.
Why not?
I'm going to sit by the pool.
No. You got to play some golf.
I don't even do mini golf without wanting to throw the putter. So no, I can't.
I'm sorry, folks. I'm dying over here.
I don't have patience for golf.
Happy Gilmore. So I want to talk about other news that's happening. I don't want to forget about our West Coast friends. I can't wait to go back to Disneyland. In all actuality, with the new Marvel campus out there and everything.
Oh my gosh, that's very much true. Oh my Lord, yes. And I think our kids would be in awe of the whole experience.
They would. So Disneyland Spectaculars and a new finale for the Main Street Electrical Parade. Return dates have been announced for Disneyland and California Adventure coming up this spring. So basically, the festivals are coming back to DCA, Disney's California Adventure, early in 2022, and the Food and Wine Festival starting in a couple weeks. So what I'm very excited about is the Disneyland band's coming back, the Dapper Dance. Everybody loves the Dapper Dance. The Guardians of the Galaxy Dance Off, plus a lot more. But the fireworks are going to be coming. The Magic Happens Parade, Mickey and the Magical Map, Frozen, all of those are going to be coming, I think, this year. They just haven't been announced yet. So, the Magic Happens was brand new, only a couple weeks old when the park closed. So I'm going to assume it'll be back sometime summer of 2022. But the World of Color, I mean, there's so much. The World of Color was one of my favorite with the big Mickey Ferris wheel in the background.
Oh, yeah.
And, you'd be able to gather around Paradise Bay at Disney's California Adventure to enjoy World of Color. It was definitely cool. And that Disney animated projector on that immense screen of the water is one of Disney's best nighttime spectaculars anywhere. So if you've never been out to Disneyland and in California, it's something definitely to put on your list of things to do. I mean, we know we're fans with Disney, and yes, there's less parks, but there's a lot to do in California in general. So that's coming back. World of Color will be returning to Disney's California Adventure on April 22nd. Disneyland Forever Fireworks. That will be coming back as well. They will run nightly in summer of 2022. And the must-see show is Fantasmic at Disneyland. And Fantasmic is Disney's longest-running nighttime spectacular. It's emotional. It's energy-filled. It's an extravaganza of colorful Disney animated film images, choreographed to a great musical score, and the waters of the rivers of America come alive with Mickey's power of imagination, and it enables him to create those fantastic events and images that we've kind of loved in those Disney classic films like Fantasia and Jungle Book, Little Mermaid, and more. So that will be coming back May 28th, 2022. And I will say, the one thing I do want to say about Fantasmic in Disneyland is it blows Fantasmic at Disney World out of the park.
Actually trying to remember.
It's when the dragon comes up, remember?
Oh my gosh, you're right. Yep.
So, and then obviously the Main Street Electrical Parade will make its grand return to Disneyland, and I think, that's got many memories for all of us. It's got tons of guest favorites with Elliot the Dragon and floats from Alice in Wonderland, Cinderella, and Peter Pan, and that will roll down Disneyland's entertainment corridor beginning on April 22nd, 2022 as well. So, excited that Disneyland Forever and Main Street Electrical Parade are coming back. It does say they're going to be available for a limited time.
Interesting.
So I don't know what defines limited time, but it's definitely coming back. So I'm excited that all of the entertainment is returning to Disneyland. That was a deep breath.
I was going to add to it, but I agree with you. Part of me is torn with the fact that, sometimes for the electrical parade, you would have to kind of camp out and wait for it to happen.
And Small World out there is where we camped out.
We did.
And that Small World pavilion is massive in size compared to the one in Walt Disney World.
It is. And I want to say we had a really great seat because didn't it start or end there?
I think it started there.
I think it started there. So, and I almost think we were just there by chance. Like it was happening. I was like, oh, okay. But the fact is, it's almost like bittersweet because, you kind of structure your time around waiting for this to happen. And then it finally happens and it's absolutely amazing and definitely, worth it. But then, we haven't had that in 2 years now.
Right.
So now it's just, things are getting back to what it was.
Well, normalcy, and I think we've seen that over the past few weeks with the change in mask mandates, right, and those policies. So I think slowly and surely things are starting to come back. I will say that I'm a little surprised with all the news, and there's a ton of news coming out. But I'm surprised with the amount of news that has come out due to the fact that Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser launches on March 1st, and there's a lot. The soft previews have been happening, so definitely looking forward to, and we're going to talk about that on the next episode. As you know, it'll probably coincide with the launch. So I know we had mentioned previously about Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, the opening for that roller coaster. And so just I think everybody is a fan and they understand it, but it is a Marvel-themed roller coaster that has been under construction at Epcot, not to be confused with Tron Light Cycle, which is at Magic Kingdom. It will be the biggest attraction of Walt Disney World's 50th anniversary. So we kept going on and on about we didn't know when it was going to open. And the saga of the Guardians of the Galaxy attraction at Walt Disney World has dated back years. So there was rumors of a replacement, don't cry, for the iconic Twilight Zone Tower of Terror at Hollywood Studios, a la Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout at Disneyland Resort. Don't cry. I'm just letting you know. All right. But then the Marvel Misfits would take over the nearby Rock and Roller Coaster with Aerosmith. Anyways, so they officially announced Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind replaced the dinosaurs of Universe of Energy at Epcot. So we do know that they have repeated and referred to Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind as the first Otherworld Showcase Pavilion at Epcot. So definitely excited. We've seen all the construction. I do think that Epcot is a great place. It's just going to bring more people to the park, for that attraction. I mean, all the attractions, not all of them, Hollywood Studios aside. It's, it got Frozen, it got Ratatouille, it got Remy. It's, so there's a lot going in there. So they're saying it's going to be a storytelling coaster, and the big news is that it's going to be launching. And they always said summer of 2022, which coincides obviously with the 50th anniversary ongoing. So just want to say that there are people going through soft tests. And, what's going to happen is Memorial Day weekend. Kicking off the summer like no other. Cosmic Rewind, Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Roller Coaster at Epcot will be launching for Memorial Day weekend. No thoughts, Heather, huh?
I'm taking it all in because I'm reading it as we go through, and it's amazing. It's so strategically placed, I feel like, because... Well,
we saw the barriers up when we were at Epcot.
Yeah, no, and it's, it's going to be next to Space 22.
Space 220.
Thank you. Space 220 restaurant and Mission Space and Test Track and, there's the Play Pavilion. So it's definitely, they thought it out. And even after the ride, there was this... the Galaxarium. I can't say it. Galleryarium. Help me.
I'm good. You could throw the putter with this one. There you go.
Well, and then it's just, it's to begin that storytelling, it's just like when you go through the Star Wars, ride, you go through all of that.
It's an experience. And I think that's what they are doing is they're keeping guests on rides longer, which would kind of help out alleviate you going to every single ride and so forth. So I don't know if it'll be as long as Rise of the Resistance, but either way, it's going to be an experience in a totally different park.
Yep.
So something definitely to look forward to.
100%.
As you know, we are foodies. So the foodie guide to the 2022 Epcot International Flower and Garden Festival, March 2nd, was released, and there are a ton.
Oh, my heavens.
And, the image is really just, it's crazy. And this is the restaurant I think you had mentioned on a previous episode where we were talking about, and maybe I'm mistaken, the one that Sophia really likes, the Sunshine Griddle. Wasn't that the name of it? Maybe not.
Oh, I don't remember.
I could be off. Anyways, a lot of great things coming. I'm looking forward to it, and we will post the article. It does have allergy news as like allergy information as well, but just a couple of them. I thought grilled street corn on the cob sounded excellent. Everybody's a big fan of avocado toast.
Yes, right here.
I'm going to say Fruit Loops shake. Sign me up. Non-alcoholic.
Okay, well, I'll have my coffee, cold brew cocktail with rum, coffee liqueur, vanilla vodka, and milk while you enjoys your,
I've got to try it.
Very true. Very true.
So they have a key lime hibiscus ale, orange peel ale, so some nice brews.
Wow.
And there's a bunch. I'm not going to read the whole list because it is very reminiscent of Food and Wine Fest. So it's the food just looks, the images do justice. So we will be sure to include any information that we find out regarding food. But if you are heading down, and again, we spoke about last week, there it's almost like it's running for a lot longer.
Yes, yeah.
So if you're gonna be at Disney World anytime before July 4th, you're gonna experience this, and the amount of food, and I mean, who needs dining reservations looking at this?
No,
I'm
not
gonna be
at
honest,
all.
because it's all in those booths mostly. As you walk around World Showcase and actually in the park as well. So there's a lot. I mean, it's I love it, and for 90 days, that's great. So more people can experience it.
Yeah, you just gave me a thought. I think we need to do a podcast on our experience of the Food and Wine Festival. I mean, it's got to be very similar to the Flower
It is.
Garden, like that approach, like you just said. Like there were times where we didn't even have dinner reservations. Instead of we just walked around and went to the
munch.
Specific kiosks and whatnot.
Yeah, you definitely munch and snack your way through, and it's great.
Amazing.
And the portion sizes are decent as well.
Yeah.
They definitely are. So, all right. Other news that we wanted to touch base on. The first one is Disney Genie Plus service. So this is massive in announcement size, I should say. But basically, it started February 25th. And it goes through August 7th. The following attractions are going to be added to Disney Genie Plus. So Magic Kingdom, you now have Space Mountain. So here's my thing. As I start to think about just Space Mountain, that means the only individual lightning lane at Magic Kingdom is Seven Dwarf.
Yes.
Is Tron going to be ready?
Oh.
Is this a prelude to Tron opening up at some point in the summer or after August 7th, or, I don't know what they're doing.
Oh, I see what you're saying. With the date, I don't know.
So, I mean, there's a lot of construction walls been coming down. You see all the bloggers on social media who are taking the pictures of it. I want to say daily, but, on the weekly or bi-weekly updates, I feel like it's getting close.
Well, I mean, that could be a projected date, but see, now wouldn't it be a queue? That's what I would think it would go on first.
I don't know how much they're doing them anymore.
Like they may be phasing that out.
The virtual queues,
Yeah.
I think they're just, making money. So that could be, for Magic Kingdom. Epcot Frozen Ever After is going to be added to Genie Plus, which is huge. But again, I think that's going to also be part of Guardians. Guardians will now be, the individual lightning lane. And then at Hollywood Studios, Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. So, which, again, it depending on, we talked about a strategy, you could get on that either way.
Yeah. 100%.
So, but during that time period, so February 25th through August 7th, these attractions will not be available for purchase a la carte. So it's going to give guests more options as they prepare, meaning Disney prepares for that busy spring and summer season. I don't know what they're doing. I'm gonna be honest. Disney's busy. We know that. We've been seeing that with the crowds. I don't know the reason behind it. I mean, that was my first thought, was perhaps it has something to do with Tron. Maybe Tron is getting closer.
Maybe I don't know.
I mean, we know Animal Kingdom was not announced in this because previously Expedition Everest was already moved from the a la carte individual lightning lane to the Genie Plus roster.
Okay.
But we know it's also, for those who are going soon, it is down. It's currently down for refurbishment through the end of April 2022. Chances are could be longer, but that's their tentative date right now.
Right.
So, Yeah,
I don't know. I think there's a method to their madness, and we just haven't figured it out yet.
Yeah, I mean, Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway is the number 2 ride, really, with priorities and everything. It's a very distant second after Slinky Dog Dash. Let's be honest with that. I think it's going to be easy to get that. And Frozen after was definitely the number 1 ride, edging out Test Track by a bit, with popularity. And then Expedition Everest obviously is going to be number 3 once it reopens. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how this all kind of evolves. I mean, that's almost 6 months of removing them. So I think they're looking at popularity and seeing, how many people are paying for the individual Lightning Lane for those rides versus
Right.
Versus just buying Genie Plus and seeing how much. Maybe the people are just saying, okay, I'm going to stand standby for these. Like we said, we had the information with, how much things were being utilized, in the parks. So with Genie Plus, and again, I always just want to resurface and say this again: don't yell at the cast members. They are doing everything in their power to make sure that your trip is magical. And things are really busy right now with the start of the Epcot Flower and Garden Festival that we just mentioned, and obviously with Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser opening. So there's a lot of things going on. They're testing Guardians of the Galaxy, so Disney and all the entertainment's coming. So there's a lot going on, and I still don't think they are at their full strength.
No, I don't think so either. Slowly but surely, I think they're trying and, and maintaining everything they have. And just in the world right now, again, like employment is almost scarce in certain ways. So as they're trying to, continue to increase their employment and everything else, we just have to be patient.
Agreed. So I know we were going to talk on the next episode regarding Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser.
Yeah.
But you want to talk about an experience. I know we talked about it as, we compared it to a cruise ship, and the things that I have been reading and seeing, it is cosplay is fully in play here. So there are tons of people in costumes, and you really get to have the experience of, maybe you're going to be working for the First Order. Maybe you're going to be with the Resistance.
What would you pick?
I don't know. And it is, I do want to say, it's not Darth Vader. So, loyal fans to, the Darth Vader character, it is all Kylo Ren. So just to make sure that we are clear with that. But,
interesting.
There's no pools, there's nothing else there, and there's no windows. So you are really just in this Star Cruiser.
You're like a submarine.
Right. And I read that, for those who were on the soft opening, that even when you went to Rise, you were like in a box truck with no windows into a back gate.
I feel a little hostile. Like I would feel, I don't know.
Yeah. So there's the March 1st debut is coming. More details have been revealed about the immersive experience and how it intertwines with other Star Wars experiences guests know and love, like Galaxy's Edge. So the Walt Disney Imagineering developed Star Wars Galaxy's Edge and Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser at the same time, intending for them to complement not only each other, but the broader place in Star Wars history in which they're set. So they've collaborated with Lucasfilm. They created the Star Cruiser. The setting for this new 2-night immersive adventure is definitely going to take those who are going on it deeper into the tales of that galaxy far, far away. And I don't want to go too far in depth with discussing that, because I feel that's we're gonna have a lot to talk about on next week's episode. Yep. So with everything that I've been seeing and my connections that I've been following and DMing and everything like that. So definitely it isn't a cost, as we said. And there is availability on certain things, but I guess at some point we will experience it. We said I did read that I think it only holds it's a building. What am I talking about? It's not like a ship, really. Like
no, okay, so
400
capacity.
people.
Okay.
Right. So, which would equal if you slam the rooms with people, a lot of the rooms are 4.
Right.
With some that are available for 5.
Correct.
So, and we'll talk about the accommodations and everything on that episode. So, what else did I want to talk about?
What else did you want to talk about? I don't know. Hold on. Let's look.
There's a lot. I talked about Genie Plus.
You did.
We talked about that Star Wars. I don't want to go too deep in that.
Nope.
I don't think we have time for a full. My original thought of the episode, with the focus was going to be like a 1-day Hollywood studio Lightning Lane Genie Plus plan. We're not gonna have time for that. I don't want to,
Okay.
that's gonna be another whole show. So stay tuned, folks. That will be coming. Maybe next week, depending on how long Star Wars goes. One thing that we get, I'll wrap up with this, is we get asked a lot about Disney World's dining plan. And when is it going to return? And the question is, nobody knows.
That is very true.
Or when will Walt Disney World bring back free dining in 2022?
Right. Well,
go ahead.
Well, no. So, I believe, it's kind of like, everyone, there's hype behind it, like free dining, free dining, free dining. But after all, it's just another way to market it, whereas the dining it's already an expense that's built into your package.
Well, you mean through the plan?
Right. Because I just remember hearing that some people, I even want to say, I even spoke to someone at Disney, and they just said that it's a strategy that they use in order to bring people in.
1,000% correct.
But
that is
it's
accurate.
Not necessarily like...
No, not with the 50th
built
anniversary.
It's built into your price. It's, they make it sound like it's all of this. You have not heard this?
No, I understand. So you're talking, it's like customer acquisition costs. Like, what is it?
Oh, my God. I don't know what that means.
And this is my life. Anyway, so as you're looking at your break-even point.
Okay.
I'm not going deep into this.
No.
See if you can follow very quickly. So your break-even point with rooms.
Okay.
Got it?
I've got it.
You need people in the rooms.
Correct.
To make money.
Yes.
To break even.
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So you bring people in by enticing them by giving them free dining.
Correct.
Typically, if there's not free dining, which we are seeing, some are minimal, but you don't get both. You don't get a room-only discount and free dining. It's typically one or the other. PIN codes aside, let's not bring that in, all right? However, free dining, also the level of free dining, probably it's dictated by what level of resort you're staying at.
Right.
So, the quick serve, the main one, or the one with all the meals. So they look to bring guests in to make sure that they are at least breaking even.
I understand.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
For those who aren't,
I get it.
yeah, all right. So we know that Walt Disney World temporarily suspended the Disney dining plan, canceled the free dining, along with several other things pre-pandemic. I mean, right when the pandemic hit. Since then, everything's pretty much been restored or announced the return of most things, with the pace, really accelerating, the last 8 months or so, last summer. Things were temporary. A lot of things have changed, as we know. However, as we were saying, Disney Dining Plan has not returned despite the company. So Walt Disney has released a statement, last summer that it would come back. But if they're at capacity now, why would they have to entice people to come? So, listen, it could come in 2022 as they start to look at the numbers. And remember, the celebration is ongoing for the 50th. We talked about the 50th for a really long time, and the main Disney fans, they are going to be there.
Come no matter what.
They are going to be there. There's no doubt about it. So it's been about 9 months since Disney said that the dining plan would be back, but they were not quite ready to make that announcement, and we don't know what their definition of soon means.
Right.
Excuse me. So nothing has changed with that. And again, the new menus with all the Epcot festivals, they do have the DDP, Disney Dining Plan symbol next to those eligible snacks. As we've seen those menus, as if those food and beverage teams are preparing for it to return at any time, but nothing has been stated. Most of the restaurants have reopened. So to the point that the number of locations that are unavailable is fairly insignificant in the grand scheme of Walt Disney World's dining capacity. We just did talk about the CDC and changing mask mandates and everything like that, even inside buildings with the exception of transportation. So there's restaurants that have been open for months. They've upscaled their operations. There's now breakfast. There's now buffets. There's more, other missing meal services. So there's a lot coming. And then we know recently that the first Princess meal had just returned, which was the storybook dining at Artist Point at Wilderness Lodge, which I think we have to talk about that. That was a fantastic meal.
It was very, what's the word I'm
upscale.
looking for?
It was awesome.
It was surprising. And we had, God, how many of us were there? 12, I want to say. It was about
10.
10?
Yeah,
right.
10.
And it was delightful.
It was great. But Disney now, they have that willingness to operate meals with face character meals. I think other restaurants will return. Those signature dining restaurants have returned this month. There's more opening in March. So I think staffing remains the key issue with all of the Walt Disney World restaurants, and both those ones that are in operation and the closed ones. I think we mentioned it, that they brought back the college program. They had a hiring blitz. They've given bonuses, but there's a lot of staff shortages still, and that's why many locations cannot operate at full capacity. Now, what does that have to do with the dining plan? Things aren't firing on all cylinders, I guess, in that regard. But we know that food prices have gone up. We know inflation is crazy right now. We know there's shortages everywhere. So I do think that Walt Disney World is trying to address this and getting that staff with those bonuses and everything back. Now, as far as the higher menu prices, that could make the Disney dining plan more attractive and push more guests towards it. Maybe they're going to increase the price for that. I mean, Heather will tell you, first thing, the Disney dining plan is pricey, but so too are those individual entree, snacks, desserts, drinks. And we talked about saving money and how you can do that. However, I think that it's a lot of food.
Yes. By the end of our not this past trip.
No, we didn't use it.
No.
It wasn't around.
Prior, exactly. I just was like, I felt, I don't want to say disgusted because that's not the word, but I was just like, I don't want to eat anymore.
Were you an Oompa Loompa?
I did. I felt it, and I couldn't. And I felt bad because it was there. And I think that is maybe why, I don't know. Maybe that's why I came back home that trip, probably gaining weight compared to the last trip we went where I did not at all because I wasn't forced to eat as much, So, I mean, it really depends on, how many people are in your family and what's going to work. And again, I remember that was the first year they included alcoholic beverages and then I think like desserts and everything. So it was definitely a lot. So, I mean, I don't even, if it were to come back, I really don't even know if we would consider it again.
Well, and here's the thing. People talk about pricing. Well, we know how high inflation is with food. We went over that in a previous episode. I'm not going to rehash that. However, there's no secret that the inflation has hit the cost of food especially hard. And, meat, poultry, fish, eggs, they've all skyrocketed. And businesses attempt to pass those higher costs on to consumers in anything. This is not Walt Disney World specific. Grocery stores, we know fuel prices, but food away from home, restaurants, they are trying to keep up, and they have higher labor costs, higher food costs, higher ingredients costs, and everything like that.
Yeah.
So, and table service was always, signature aside, was always pricey. But it has been for years. That's nothing new. So I don't want to say that that's pretty much the thing. I think that there's trepidation among restaurants about their ability to pass on these higher prices to consumers without seeing that corresponding drop in demand. So I'm going to say that's pretty much the same concern with Disney Dining Plan. So even, pre-closure, the rate of the price increases had slowed significantly because they wanted people buying into it. Because let's be honest, you don't eat that much food. So when you're able to kind of, a la carte it, Heather would never eat dessert, but now she felt forced to because she wanted to get best bang for their buck on the dining plan. Mm-hmm. So otherwise you're not, so they're looking at the price. So I'd say the price increase pre-closure made the Disney dining plan a better value, in early 2020 versus 2017 because of the rise of inflation and everything. So I think that they're kind of reaching that ceiling or they're close to it, because the food costs are higher. And yes, consumers, I think, are more willing to pay those prices impulsively, like for your Mickey pretzel or your Mickey bar, right?
Right.
In smaller increments. But a $90 regular Disney dining plan, do you think you'd spend $90 a day? Again, if it's free to attract you to get there,
right.
Again, but then look at the hotel cost.
Right.
So everything is looped together. It's like 6 degrees of separation. These are a bunch of different variables. We know that spring break and Easter are right around the corner. I don't think they're lacking attendance as we've seen. We know Galactic Star Cruiser, as we mentioned, is kicking off, but guests are spending money because they've saved it from not traveling for 18 months. So I know that was my soapbox moment. Okay. I do think, best case, it comes back in March.
I think we'll have to wait and see.
But I think it's unlikely for spring. I think it really depends on capacity as they move forward. I would be optimistic. Maybe summer. Maybe summer. And I think it's going to be very limited. I'm going to be honest with you. Number of hotels, just like these discounts.
What do you think it's going to be your deluxe resorts, or is it going to be more towards?
I think it'll be moderate deluxe, but limited as well. In the sense that, let's say you used to get the deluxe dining plan at a deluxe resort, you're going to get like a tier lowered. You'll get the regular dining plan, the standard. Okay. I do not have a crystal ball.
Nope.
Okay. This is just speculation in nature. And what we've seen in the past in trends. Typically in the summer is when they really need to bring some people in, but I don't forecast that this year. I don't know Disney's numbers. I can look at it, but overall, I don't know if it's really going to come back. It depends upon capacity, and with everything coming back as is, like all the the good stuff, the entertainment, more hotels, restaurants. Maybe they'll bring back 6 months, 180 days of dining reservations instead of 60. I don't know. Anyways, any final thoughts, Heather? Sorry for my soapbox, but for those who ask us about dining plan, I wanted to kind of explain it, and then Heather will have a full definition. Forget the joke next week. Full definition of customer acquisition cost.
Oh my God, no, guys, don't let him do this.
I'm just kidding. Okay. So final thoughts, wrap up. What do you want to do?
No, well, please check us out on our socials. I have been sharing just some of the sneak peeks of the Star Wars Galactic.
Yeah, the food looks good. We'll talk about that. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole.
I'm just saying,
I got
us
you.
out.
Socials.
So Instagram is Magical Destinations Travel Co. You can check us out on Facebook, Magical Destinations Travel, on Twitter, Magical Dest Trav, and of course our website, bookmdtravel.com.
That's it. So till next week, live life, do what makes you happy, eat the food, and let the Disney vibes flow.
Find Disney Vibes for all your vacation needs on the web at bookmdtravel.com.